Major news stories with high value assets in individuals and organizations going through the thick of it with bad financial practices as well as bad business. Lil Tjay situation being out on bond after having allegedly Offset.
With Offset shot and rushed to the hospital.
Investigators say another rapper, Lil Tjay, was arrested in connection with the incident.
Which Offset, by the way, is doing perfectly fine now. Well, minus the Forrest Gump type wound in his buttocks.
He's also speaking for the first time on social media. The Atlanta rapper commented, "You ain't bust nothing," in response to this.
Offset, he would never play with me like that in his life.
Seminole police accuse him of ordering his entourage to attack Offset at the valet of the casino. He was released Tuesday afternoon.
And announced that Pooh Shiesty is still held in federal custody as his bond was denied. With Pooh Shiesty losing his own equity stake in his music brand and having to deal with those crazy contractual obligations to Gucci Mane, leading him to criminal activities along with rapper Big 30 and I believe a few other associates.
We're outside federal court here in downtown Dallas for an update on the case that involves the rapper known as
by rappers Pooh Shiesty and Big 30, among others in Dallas, according to the Department of Justice.
No matter who you are, we will fight to make our communities safer.
The FBI states in January, Pooh Shiesty, whose legal name is Lontrell Williams Jr., and Big 30, or Rodney Wright Jr., along with 7 others, lured 3 musicians to Dallas for what was supposed to be a business meeting. The DOJ says it then turned into a planned ambush.
And forced one of the victims to sign a release from the recording contract.
After about a 1-hour probable cause hearing in federal court in downtown Dallas, he has been ordered held. The judge deciding that, yes, there is probable cause that he was involved in the crimes that have been alleged by the FBI. Was released from federal prison just this past October after serving 3 years for gun crimes. And given conditions of his release, they allege the Memphis rapper didn't even have permission to be in Dallas. Williams heard the judge rule that the evidence against him is heavy, that his lengthy criminal history is a factor, and that there is probable cause that he committed the crimes.
And it seems like many NBA players as well as NBA analysts are giving their 2 cents and believing that Memphis is becoming a big financial and legal liability, with the Memphis Grizzlies still playing in Memphis instead of moving over to the city of Nashville, where Glasses Malone and many others are saying that LeBron James and all these other stars
in Memphis on a random Thursday. I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. Like, we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville. You got to.
Man, I used to hate flying into Memphis, bro.
What'd you coming to that FedEx? Them boys maybe had it cracking.
I mean, we gonna stay at that West, and I'm gonna walk across. I'm walking across the street on game day to get to the. Like,
what's your least favorite city? Everybody's got to have one.
Yeah, Memphis probably. I mean, the hotel is probably the worst hotel in the NBA.
Memphis, shout out Memphis. Yeah. Nah.
Memphis, which should probably be in Nashville, should be an Eastern Conference team. Adam, let them just do us all a favor and take the team to Nashville. No harm, no foul. The relocation fee, it's a swap. See that arena?
But it's just not a city that's pretty, I guess you might say.
And he's right. It's been other players who said this. He's not the first person to say it. But he's, whether he likes it or not, he's the face of the NBA, one of the faces of the NBA. And what he says carries a lot of weight.
This is the blackest city that has an NBA team, and it's not financially doing incredible. There's a ton of opportunities in Memphis for business. Like, if it's multiple NBA players that are millionaires talking about how underdeveloped Black Memphis is. Let's take the team to Nashville. Why isn't like, oh, here's a business opportunity. They need a better hotel. Here's a business opportunity. I'm LeBron James. I can bring a better hotel here.
So stay tuned for that for Grover's analysis. And if this is the news you didn't know that you needed, well, you're in the right place for the Just a Tip Network news. With Scotty, your host, as well as Grover, providing his deep, savage analysis. Now on to our first S-tier story, with Offset showing that if you have outstanding debt obligations as well as unsecured debt, well, we see what type of situations develop from that. And it seems like it was a crazy night at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Hollywood in Florida, where Offset, as you already know, that Lil Tjay and his crew allegedly had done, basically shot him in the butt.
Rapper's real name is Tyone Merritt. He was at Hollywood's Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Monday night when rapper Offset was shot. According to a newly released Seminole police report, Lil Tjay directed members of his party to start a fight with another small group of males at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. During that fight, investigators say someone shot a gun and the bullet hit Offset. Offset was brought to Memorial Hospital in Hollywood with non-life-threatening injuries.
Offset is perfectly fine as he's already been released from the hospital. But it just shows it doesn't matter if you were manning a $100 million music brand legacy with Migos, that you can even fall down into dire straits when you have a problem with gambling and having outstanding debts with many of your associates and other celebrities, with allegedly being Des Bryant, Selena Powell, Ebro, and many others, where it seems like Offset really does have a big problem with his debts, where apparently a debt of about $10,000 is all it took for Lil Tjay to completely, well, not completely, but almost destroy his own music career before it even got really hot and started by doing something as reckless as this. Where fortunately for us, it didn't turn tragic like with the whole Takeoff situation, but this is a definite stain on a storied career with Offset, getting into a position of his own liquidity crisis, not having enough funds to be paying all of his debts. With many major hits, of course, Bad and Bougie, Walk It Like You Talk It, and a couple others here that I can't rattle off the top of my head, where now your own gambling problem becomes a personal liability, which fortunately, he was able to escape this particular situation with what appears to be a superficial wound. With claims coming from Lil Tjay as he's let out on bond saying that it seems like Offset may have been doing a little bit of talking.
Lil Tjay bonding out of the Broward County Jail Tuesday afternoon.
Fight who? Were you involved in a fight at the casino?
Does Offset owe you money?
But we'll revisit when the time comes with more developments out of that particular story. Now on to our A-tier story with an update. The Pooh Shiesty and Gucci Mane bad contract situation, leading Pooh Shiesty, Big 30, and his crew and their crew to go and run up in Gucci Mane's house, reportedly, and Strongarm him to signing ownership right back to Pooh Shiesty and his crew. Since Pooh Shiesty's already in probation or on probation, and this is the reason why he was denied bond and still remains in federal custody, where his lawyer claims that Gucci Mane was talking.
There is no contract, this mystery contract. They have no video of this alleged signing of a contract. They have no guns, they have no jewelry, they have none of that physical evidence. What they have is they have allegedly 5 individuals, one of them being a very well-known individual that is allegedly cooperating with the government and making these allegations against my client and many more.
But there might be some hope to Pooh Shiesty, as there is news that the FBI may not have a rock-solid case to be able to convict him. So we'll let you know more about those developments as they come up. So the lesson for that for all of you polite savages is to make sure you retain ownership and an equity stake in your own brand so you can monetize and license it.
When it come to business, let's negotiate. Can't take the streets to the do. Gonna get a life sentence with that. Let's get to the B's.
Make sure you read your contracts, use Gemini Pro or Claude AI or some type of large language model, as well as an attorney, to make sure your money is straight and that revenue keeps generating off of your things that you make. So with that tip of the day, you might as well pick up a couple Light Savages shirt and check out our merch store, where you'll find all sorts of type of apparel and gear that you may like to keep helping support the Tip Network. Now onto our B-tier story with Grover providing his savage analysis. When you got NBA players as well as others talking heads, talk about how Memphis is not really a nice city to be playing in, whether it's being safe or clean. Everyone is suggesting that the Memphis Grizzlies should take their NBA organization all the way to Nashville, Tennessee, where it seems a bit tone deaf with many of these NBA players and talking heads, without realizing the implications it's going to have to the city and the people in the city because of how it's going to disrupt the economics, the jobs, the businesses, and Memphis residents, as well as adjacent residents that work in these businesses, as well as with the Memphis Grizzlies. If everything were to move over to Nashville, the big disruption that would cause is mayhem, calamity, and just pure chaos. So we're gonna hand it right off to Grover so he can provide more deeper insights into this particular story.
To my Bay Area folks who remember, not too long ago, Oakland, California had 3 sports teams. Yes, the town had 3 sports teams, entertainment all year round. You could hop on a BART from anywhere almost in the Bay Area, wind up right there, walk right across to the Coliseum, and really have a great time. So I truly understand what Memphis is talking about when they have mots for LeBron James. But I want to bring this to you from 2 different angles, from a socio-economic angle and from a strictly business angle. So let's go with business first, because we all know it's all about the money, and if the money ain't moving, ain't a dang thing funny. What LeBron James is talking about is moving the team to a larger market where people travel. You'll have more visitors because Memphis isn't a destination. A lot of great folks in Memphis. I have some family from Memphis, great barbecue, great food, and really good people in Memphis. But we all know that Memphis can be a little hazardous to your health if you're going with the wrong times, wrong people, and wrong things. Let's just keep it a buck. So what LeBron was saying, that it probably makes more business sense to move the team to Nashville. Okay, I'll give you that. But let's be real. A city's never going to get better without investment, and a sports team is some of the most major investment you can have. Now, my folks from Atlanta who's old enough remember how Atlanta was pre-Olympics and post-Olympics. Now, Atlanta was still the mecca pre-Olympics. It was still a great place to live, and a lot of great things came out of Atlanta. A lot of history, historically black colleges, but post-1990, I believe 6 Olympics, my goodness, people were hammering stuff in, jobs here, jobs there, jobs everywhere. And financially, Atlanta moved and became the bulwark that it is today. A lot of people in the middle class made a lot of money. Sports in general, attractions can really do this for a city. Now, I'm not saying that a sports team, even the Grizzlies, is as big as the Olympics, but what I'm saying is that if you don't have anything, it's better to have something. So socially, economically, Memphis having a sports team is probably just necessary. It's necessary for the tax base, it's necessary for people to absolutely have jobs, and it's necessary to keep the image of the city up. I mean, when we walk through Oakland nowadays, a lot of things have happened since those teams have started leaving. And I'm not blaming the teams. And I'm not saying that it's only happening because the team's leaving. We all know that Oakland, California has a lot of ills, but Oakland has some of the finest people, finest restaurants, and finest spaces that you can go to. But when you have hotels leaving, I mean, hell, even In-N-Out Burger closed, socially and economically, it's depressed, and it's a depressing place to be in. But for my folks in the town, I know you're going to be back. I know something's going to give. I know something's going to happen, because I do have something called hope. Call me naive. I mean, I could be as cynical as anyone else, but there's just too many good, smart people over there who really want something to happen. A lot of tech money in the Bay Area, and if it doesn't dry up sooner or later, you got to expand somewhere, and Oakland is the place to expand. So I definitely understand what folks are talking about when they tell LeBron James, hey, stay out of our business. You're trying to run the business out of here. And matter of fact, just keep your mouth shut. Stephen A. Smith and everybody else who got on this case, I can understand it. But from a business point of view, the man's not wrong. You dig?
Now, if you agree with Grover's assessment, make sure you hit that hype button in agreement. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Now, if you want to check out our new tip docs, especially with Grover's new video, The Prosperity Preachers, make sure you tap this video right here. And if you want to check out his reactions, then tap right here. Just a Tip Network News with Scotty and Grover signing out. Peace out. See you in the next one.
That's all I got for you, you polite savages. Like and subscribe. Hit us up on all social media networks.
We found true happiness.